What is going on, everybody? Today, good start to the week, good start to the month. We had a winning trade, as you can see right here. Technically, should still be in it, but unfortunately, I am not. That's all right, though. It is what it is. You know, these trades, this delivery wasn't the best, but that's all right. Took two trades today. Ended up taking one Asia session. Very similar to this trade, just in the different direction. So let's get into it immediately. Today was very clearly a distribution day where London manipulated down into these lows and then we distribute higher into these highs. These New York AM highs are going to get hit 100%. I don't have a doubt. Maybe all the way even up here too. Not a doubt in that. Now, let's get to the Asia trade first. The Asia trade was just a 5-minute short off of these highs that I, again, made a mistake. I need to learn to hold my positions longer. I took a short right here with my stops at this high right here and my take profit at this low right here. And then I was also going to take it to this previous day low all the way down here, but I ended up taking here. You can see it kind of took a while, consolidated for a long time, but the trade idea was the following. We made a new week opening gap right here. We filled the gap clearly, and I was thinking of one of two things. Okay, if we want to continue higher, then we're going to retrace into this area and then see some push, like continuations higher. We're going to see some type of interest in moving up. However, once we kind of traded way past all of this, I'm like, okay, there's clearly bearish intent here. We have very clear lows. So I feel like the move is definitely down. And I was just waiting for a retrace up into here. There's a 5-minute gap right here that we ended up filling. And I saw a very clear bearish move. And honestly, you could say I jumped the gun with this one. I don't think so. I don't believe that I jumped the gun with this one. I feel like this is a good entry. Very clear bearish intent, a lot of volume, more than usual in Asia. And yeah, we got a little bit of retrace into this giant 1-minute gap. Obviously, I could have added another contract here, like very clear. I could have easily added another contract and then moved my stops, but I didn't feel like that was the right thing to do because I usually don't trade Asia, so I don't see why I would do something like that. But followed by that, we saw a pretty clear dump immediately. I ended up taking, I went break even after we flipped this 5-minute at this point. So right around here, went break even. It was a risk-free trade. And once I have a risk-free trade like that, honestly, what I should be doing is I should just be letting it ride until my first TP or getting break even, because I made a very similar mistake during New York where I missed out on, I would believe, a lot of potential gains. Because the draw was so clear, there's no reason for us to flip any higher at all whatsoever. And what I ended up doing, I ended up trailing my stops into this high, then into this high, then into this high. I got stopped out there, and then we ended up moving lower. So what I should have done is just move my stops to break even. Once our TP1 was hit, then I can start trailing my stops, because the idea behind the take profit is the direction of liquidity. Now, anything on top of that, any bonus on top of that would be okay. Let me try to trail my stop lower and lower and lower to see how much we can go. So once I hit the first TP right here, I would have been break even. Perfect. Now we can start trailing up here. So worst case, instead of getting break even, I get a little bit of money on here. And then what do I see? The next lower low right here. The next lower high. The next lower high, where is it? Is right there, right here. Where's the next prominent lower high? Next prominent lower high, boom, right here. So I could have kept extending. Next prominent lower high, boom, right here. Next prominent lower high, boom, right here. Next prominent lower high, boom, right here. And then boom, right here. Next prominent lower high, boom, right here. And I would have ended up with a much better, basically doubled my profits if I had done that. Obviously, this would have needed for me to trail at this hour. I usually want to go to sleep. But this is the method that I need to be doing, and this is what I should be doing, and not being scared of the money. So I need to just let it run to my first TP and then just kind of trail it down. I mean, look at this. This is a very clear downtrend. And then once we flip the trend right here, okay, that's fine. I get stopped out. No problem at all. I mean, I'm like super in the money. So, excuse me. So that's a lesson to be learned in that aspect. However, New York, again, super similar trade. We open, let's just go back a little bit before I go anything. So once we take out these lows, we manipulate these lows, these daily lows and everything. We manipulate the internal Asia low, and we see London just rally like crazy. you could have taken any long off of any retrace off of this because the draws were very clearly higher. Moving into the New York Open, we had what would be this 30-minute gap. It's a 30-minute gap right here. And what I was thinking is, okay, if we can manipulate out of this 30-minute gap, I'm just going to wait for a retrace and then continuation higher. We didn't, unfortunately, get many retraces that were worth taking because I would have wanted all of these highs to get ran through, which they did. However, we did see this retrace right here. And you might be like, oh, wait, we didn't even dive into the 15-minute. Yeah, I know. But if you have news at 10, you take out the high, you see no manipulation down, you see no moves in any direction whatsoever, and you see a very clean closure above this. This is just a clear long. This is clearly saying, hey, you know what? I don't give a shit about the news. I don't want to retrace. I want to just continue ripping like crazy right here. So that's the trade I took. My break even was at this internal high. I feel like it's a good point to go break even in case that we wanted to, maybe have a little bit of a reversal after taking out some internal highs. It was also an hourly, it wasn't an hourly liquidity. Sorry, I thought it was an hourly liquidity. I should have put my stops break even here then. That's another mistake that I made. But anyways, it's also like around a 1-to-1. So I feel like if we moved, the thing is, if we moved past this point, I really don't see the reason for us continuing lower other than just taking out the highs immediately. Unfortunately, what ends up happening is I trail my stops too quickly. And I end up getting stopped out at this internal low right here. I still made profit. I mean, that's a $600 day. I can't complain. I opened another $100 account. Very good day today for that account. Over 20% of the account gained. So good start to the challenge. I'll show you guys right now. I feel like if I continue taking trades like this, I can really extend it as much as possible. This is a difficult trade because also the delivery wasn't the best. Today was a kind of like a iffy Monday. You don't know how much more New York is going to move, but as you can see, let me just make sure you guys are able to see this. As you can see very clearly, we're green on the day. You can't really see it that well. Let me see if I can if this camera can focus up for a second. There we go. So you can see we're up. We're at 121.43. So it's 20% gain on the account. Really good. If we can keep that bull rolling, that'd be fantastic. Again, I am full porting the account. So if I would have lost this, I would have lost like $20 or $30. So big loss. However, I had a lot of belief in this trade, so that's why I took it. I feel like in the live account, what I'm probably going to start doing is, since I kind of want to run it up really fast, I probably will just go break even at like the money break even point and just let it run to my full TP, which was this AM high. If I would have let it run to this AM high, which is going to get hit right now, I would have made like over $50. Would have been like a huge day. I could even trail it all the way up into here for later. But anyways, let me delete this. Alert. It was for my break even. But yeah, so what ends up happening is the following. We end up making a retrace lower. The reason why also I went break even is because we had an SMT with ES at the previous day high. At this high right here, we ended up having an SMT with ES. Let me go to the 15 minutes so I can show you guys a little bit easier. We ended up having an SMT with ES with this high right here, which New York still hasn't taken out, which is this high all the way up here. So I thought that there could have been potential for us to reverse back down. That's also why I went break even at the point that I did. If I hadn't trailed my stops, this trade would still be alive, barely, but still would be alive. Once I saw this like move down, I honestly was not very comfortable taking this trade. As much as this is just a classic 5-minute retrace, I wasn't 100% certain that this was going to be the direction we wanted to go. I mean, look, you could have taken this trade as well once we flipped this 1 minute at like around, I would have probably taken this. I'm going to make a video about these double tops because I see them all the time and they're the best way to enter. Like these right here was like such a clear entry. Stops could have been down here and then your take profit could have been up here with your break even at these highs right here. Obviously you would have had to withstand us going into the money, out of the money, and then back up into the money to win this trade. I didn't take this trade because I just wanted to take one trade for the day. I was kind of done. I didn't think that with this delivery we would see many more opportunities, but we ended up seeing them, and that's okay. It's not going to happen every day. This is going to take a long time to hit. Probably wouldn't be for like another 20-30 minutes. However, going back into our trade, I went to break even. Once I saw this, once I saw us move all the way up here, I was like, okay, I'm going to trail my stops to this internal low. Once I saw the following, once I saw us make this move down, respect this gap, and this move up, I was a little bit iffy. I'm like, we might continue lower. I kind of want to secure some profits, so I went into this internal, most recent lower low. Thankfully, I guess in hindsight, it would have been worse to get stopped out all the way down here than up here. So it's not bad. I wish that this delivery was a little bit better. I was hoping that this would deliver just straight up, but it didn't. So just one of those days, still a profit day. I can't complain. I wish I would have obviously exited up here or would have held the entire trade, but it's difficult for you to predict those days. I was hoping that we would just continue higher because the draw was so clear. However, a really positive day, a really good start to the month, a really good start to the week. Awesome to know that I'm starting green, and we'll keep this ball rolling. All right. Always remember, trade well. Don't trade plenty, just trade well.